Hi guys, welcome to this system. It's the flagship. We have changed a number of things on the ALCI or the ArcoLinux Calamares installer. The goal of this thing, let's have a look at the website. I hope it's clear. ALCI. This is a quick shortcut, so we have it already. Ctrl+C. We give you a GitHub place with code, and you can build your own ArcoLinux ISO, but this time it will have a graphical Calamares installer. You do not have to partition everything and think about EFI and FAT32 and is it bootable and so on and so on and so on. Basically, you're skipping the phases that we describe here in phase 1 and phase 2. So if you go for the Archway installation, you can still do that. It's all freedom of choice, right? We just give you the tools to do it. Bias, UFI. So we skip all these steps that are described in here, and we immediately have XFCE or Plasma or Cinnamon if we want that. But the goal is to stay as close as possible to an ArcoLinux installation. So by default, you just get the ArcoLinux installation. You need to install more stuff. But let's read on. So it's if ArcoLinux way of installing is too difficult for now, right? It is a learning school, a learning experience, ArcoLinux. Then you go for this ALCI. Two ways to do it. Decide to type every command after installation. Then you say, let's update, get the databases in for Pacman. He knows where to find X server then, the Xorg server and Xorg apps, the LightDM, XFCE4 as an example here, could have been Mate, could have been Cinnamon, could have Plasma and so on. And then you enable whatever you want as display manager, which could have been SDDM or GDM, for example. Or you decide the other way. Decide to already build the ISO with these guys on it. So it's entirely freedom of choice. You want to burn an ArcoLinux installation with Xorg already. When you boot up, you have already that available, or with LightDM or with XFC. So I've done one of those like this, put that everything on here, and the only thing you have to do then is come in a black screen. But you enable LightDM, boot up, and there it is. XFCE greets you in all its splendor these days. It's a nice wallpaper, nice look. So that's the project. Now, there's a tip here. SDDM will always be removed from your future system. This ALCI uses SDDM, but afterwards we want a clean system. So it's going to be removed by Calamares in the end, unless you install Plasma, right? Unless you installed other stuff that depends on it, then it just stays there. Now, if it would happen, that's the only thing you should do. If it gets deleted and you need it, that's all you need to do. 2 extra lines. So how to proceed now? I go to here, we Ctrl+C it. I've done that already. And these are more articles, and what I'm making or what I'm telling you now is going to go in here. How to get started with ALCI. All right, I use my desktop as my place to be. Open terminal here, Ctrl+Shift+V. Most of us have Git clone, have Git, but if on ArcoLinux maybe you do not have it after a clean installation, so sudo pacman -s git would be a good idea. You have this, and then we have, let's go back to the article. We are starting to edit this little article here. Short version, check you have the correct Arch ISO version. Okay, let's check I have the correct Arch ISO version. It says here that I should use this number. Ctrl+T, sudo pacman -, well, if there's an error, it will just throw it at you, simple as that. But let's make a tutorial. Let's read it complete. So yeah, 50.1.1, 50.1.1, check. We've done that. So we're ready to build. We have the correct package. If not, update. If it's a higher number, downgrade, right? Maybe you show you that as well. Update is update, right? A simple update. But downgrade is this, Arch ISO. And then you choose the number. It should be sudo to do it. And you choose a number you choose a number you want, like 5 or something, right? And then you install this particular thing. In the end, it says, do you want me to put it in the ignore list of pacman.conf? Yes, you say, and that's it. That's downgrading. That's also explained in ArcoLinux.com if it's not yet clear. So we're going down this way. Git clone, we've done that. Change the content of the Arch ISO packages x86. There are 2 things important. Well, 3. 1, this folder to build, and 2, there are 2 files that are important, and that's the file pacman.conf, and that's this one. All the rest is not really used. Well, this sure, this is used, but this one and this one for us users is necessary to understand what that is. This pacman.conf is used to search for packages. Only this one. All the rest is extra. So here it says pacman chaotic. Maybe you've seen the videos about the repository of chaotic, right? If you just do a compare, and that's what they say, use melt to compare other packages. Well, we started with pacman first, we'll do packages later. And we melt, we compare. Basically, the difference is we add some lines, and we could add lots and lots of other unofficial user repositories. The question is, do you trust them? That's the only issue with it. So, but there's a choice. We give you tools, and it's up to you to make choices if you rely on this particular repository. Because, for instance, there was this Unreal Engine up there for 50 gigabytes, right? We're not gonna host that. We're not gonna build that. So you get it there if you want stuff like that. Android Studio, big files. They're there. So that's the difference. This one, the right one, is going to be used. So if you decide to use it, all you have to do is click here. Yes, I want to have it. On my choice of my ISO that I'm gonna build, I am going to include packages from chaotic. Then I just click on this arrow here, and it goes in your pacman.conf. And it says here, remember to add chaotic mirror list and chaotic keyring. In order for packages to come from repositories, they need to know where. The where is the mirror list. Is it trusted? That's the keyring. So both of them need to go in there. So we know the package is there, where the package is, and if the package has been signed properly. Okay? And that's an exercise you can do before, or not, right? Or not. This is not necessary. It is a big or not. Here or not. So you can just run it, but I'm going to be complete in this video. So if I, ArcoLinux user, I'm gonna say I want to have my ArcoLinux and chaotic or ArcoLinux only, I'm going to compare these 2 guys, and then I see, it includes the ArcoLinux repos in my pacman.conf. So I can add the ArcoLinux wallpapers, I can add the ArcoLinux plank and a theme and an arc theme and so on, right? 150 plus packages can now be included on my ISO because I have the source. Okay. The keys, we are ArcoLinux, right? So the keys from us are in by default. You want to really have an Arch Linux, then you need just to strip the keys out, but that's explained in the README. The README has been very long, so please guys, read it. The readme.md is much nicer to read on the website, but this is the page where every bit of information should be, will be, is. Okay? So Arch ISO, pacman. So pacman is just about sources. Now, maybe I should explain this immediately. It's in the tip, but in here we have also pacmod.conf. But this is your future system. This is your Arch ISO root file system. This is your future system. If you want to have the same repositories in the future, you should add them here as well. So this is the goal of the project, is always to stay as close to ArcoLinux. So that's this. There is no ArcoLinux, there is no anything here. No Chaotic. It's just Arch. So if you want to have more in the next, well, in your future system, just copy paste it over here as well. Okay. Then we tackle the next thing. The next thing is the packages. That's important. I think it was up here that I wanted to make clear. Either you decide to type everything and be fully in control as you go away down if you on your future system, or you decide not to type everything and decide already here to put it on the packages. Edit the packages x86, 64, add the packages you want. So what is this about? So one is the source, where do I get packages? The other one is, what packages should I get? So this is the standard one. That's the only one that's going to be used. Again, this one, that one. That's it. And all the rest is extra information. For example, if you want to do a development test, I'll switch this one with this one. How do I do that? With melt again. Compare. So the left one is example. You see up here. When I build an ISO, well, the ALCI ISO, I will include Xorg server already, so I don't have to type it. I will include LightDM and GTK greeter, so I don't have to type it. There's no SDM, there's no GDM, there can be only one to be active. You can install all of them, there can be only one active. I will install Network Manager, and that's interesting for people trying to get to the wireless with their laptops. Then we have NM2E. It's all explained here, what you should do. Enable it. Capital N, capital M. Do you want base development on the ISO? Why not? Linux headers? Sure. And then just a test. Just took a desktop of 21 desktops. It's the easiest one, of course, because it's a desktop. It's not like BSPWM or anything like that. And here we get our stuff in. The mirror list is where is the stuff located? Where are the packages? And are they signed? The keyring. And here we test if it works. ArcoLinux wallpaper is just a test. Okay, wallpapers are in. That's because these guys were included. And the same goes for the mirror list here, for Chaotic and the keyring. And I just took one of them, not a small package, just to test. Okay, it works. But you feel the possibilities with it. I hope you understand that, whoa, if I just type the word cinnamon down here, I am going to get XFCE4 and cinnamon? Yeah. Right? Yes. Mate? Sure. Etc, etc, etc. So the cheat sheet we provide you on the ArcoLinux info website and the download page, that's it. Those are the lines, the first column. Those are the things you decide to put on the ISO already when building. So it's an awesome possibility. There are so many things you can do, right? Going back. And this is an example one. And this is the original. So if you're going to experiment, you don't know which one is the original again anymore. So the original one is exactly the same as the one we have now. So you can play around and always get back to the original. That's here. And that's it. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So decide what to put on the ISO. Nothing, everything. More desktops. It's all up to you. Then we were, I can do it like this, I think. No, this and this. Okay, so this page, we're going through the motions here. it's a long story, but basically once you've done it, say, okay, thanks Eric, but it's just git clone build. Yeah, actually, but okay. So the next step is choose a build script in folder installation scripts. Number 30. Oh, let's put you here then. So if you decided to do nothing, that's cool too. But you can change so many things in the pacman.conf and the packages. But finally, you have to build something. 30, build the ISO the first time. Build the ISO local again. So the names have been chosen wisely. Build the ISO the first time. It cleans out your cache. It gets rid of all the packages you already have on your system. There's no danger there. It's just packages in the var cache somewhere on your system. And it re-downloads them. So there are no corrupt packages and there are no problems. That's the first thing I do. Clean everything out. First do a 30 and then the first time build of the day. Often it's of the day. And then later on I try something else, add something else, change this, change that. Then you use number 40. And you don't need to re-download everything. Everything is now on your local system, the var cache there. And that's cool. And so it's less downloads, less bandwidth. And that's for the second time build. And you'll find the result in the Alci out. So a folder, which I already have, but and we're going to edit the rest of the text here. Okay, so it's time to build. Haven't changed anything, I think. I hope I haven't anyway. So 30 build the ISO. 30 build the ISO. I press tab, by the way, to autocomplete. That's one of the things I really need. So that's one of the things that is on the ISO that's normally not on an ArcoLinux ISO, but I can't live without tab, can you? So tab autocompletes your stuff in bash. And now it's just waiting, right? It's just waiting for everything to come in, and it's not that much. That's why actually I love this project. It's fast built, super fast built, and you can test immediately. And what you don't have, of course, and that's the difference, that's the configurations of ArcoLinux. You don't have the dconf, you don't have the keyboard shortcuts, you don't have this, you don't have that. There's lots you don't have. But this is a project where you build up from Arch ISO, so ArcoLinux base, and it's up to you. So Sherlock Holmes is back in the picture. Whoa, I don't have sound yet. I don't have a printer. What's this, what's that, etc, etc. So there's lots of things to figure out still, and that's the fun part, I suppose. So 511 packages, which is nothing. And a lot of packages are on the live DVD. If you go investigate that, wrong. Because afterwards, Calamaris is going to remove a lot of things. So we do end up with the most minimal ArcoLinux installation on your hardware, on your machine. All right, let's pause a little bit. Voila, everything finished. And where you go look on your home directory, there's an Alci out, and that's one from yesterday, and that's the one from today. So that's it. I've built myself an ISO. Two options: VirtualBox or any other virtual machine. Try it out, or burn it on USB. We have a nice USB burner. Just type USB image writer and then try it out on real metal. All right, guys. Next video, the VirtualBox.